Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is Greg Showerman, and I represent Police Officer Waldman and the City of Chicago in this civil action that was brought about by Mr. Ramirez. I don't know how much experience you may or may not have in the past as far as being a member of a jury, but let me assure you that the American justice system, with all its warts and blemishes, lumps and bumps, is still the fairest and the best justice system there is among any of the civilized nations. It seeks to ferret out truth and justice based on actual facts of what happened. And as members of this jury, you will be presented with a myriad of facts throughout this proceeding. Some facts will be in agreement with each other, and other facts will contradict each other. You will be asked to sort through these facts and try and determine what really took place in the early morning hours of December 7th, 1996. This case is about two police officers whose duty it is to serve and to protect the citizens of Chicago. On that early morning, two cars were traveling down Evergreen Avenue and came to a stop somewhere between California and Rockwell Avenues. When the cars stopped, Mr. Ramirez exited his car and headed toward the back of the vehicle. Officer Levy got out of the car first to confront Mr. Ramirez and to see what the problem was. As Officer Waldman was exiting the car, he looked over the top of the car in which they were riding, only to see Mr. Ramirez take a knife and stab Officer Levy. As Officer Waldman headed toward where the altercation took place to come to the aid of his partner, he noticed that the grip which Officer Levy had on the forearm of Mr. Ramirez was broken, and that the knife indeed was coming up again a second time to stab his partner. It was at that time that Officer Waldman fired a single shot into Mr. Ramirez to stop any further bodily harm, possibly even death, to Officer Levy. A few things that you should know about Mr. Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez had a difficult time in high school. In fact, he never did graduate. He was a high school dropout. Mr. Ramirez indeed has a past criminal record, a record which contains acts of violence. Mr. Ramirez had been drinking both beer and hard liquor on the evening before this altercation took place. It started with a few beers at a friend's house, and then after that, they stopped at not one, but two bars consuming hard liquor at each location. The testimony and the depositions of the officers may have some minor conflicts, but the great majority of the officers' testimony corroborates each other and is in very close agreement. Also, Officer Waldman has served on both the Flint, Michigan Police Force and the City of Chicago Police Force for long periods of time without any incidents of excessive force. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly a case about two police officers whose sworn duty is to serve and protect the citizens of Chicago. And that's exactly what these two officers were doing on the morning of December 7th, 1996, when this incident happened. Thank you.